The digital world. Huh, sometimes it feels less like a brave new world and a lot more like, the Wild West.
Yeah.
Outlaws lurking around every corner, just waiting to take you for everything you've got.
Right. And today we're talking about the digital equivalent of exactly that, getting robbed. And I'm talking about ransomware.
Ooh, ransomware.
And it's not your typical stick-up, Imagine if instead of just losing your valuables, you lost access to, like, everything. Digital photos, work files, everything.
Yeah, that's a much scarier thought.
That's the reality of a ransomware attack.
No, that's what we're taking a deep dive into today.
We are.
A recent news story. It's from bleepingcomputer.com, and it's about how two ransomware gangs, Akira and Fog, are exploiting this vulnerability they found in Veeam software.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, huge deal for businesses, right?
Absolutely. Veeam's a leading provider of, like, backup and recovery solutions.
Right, so they're the good guys. Well,
they are. They're supposed to be. I mean, you can think of them as the guys who build those super secure vaults for banks.
Oh, okay.
But instead of money, it's your data. It's digital assets.
Okay, so what went wrong?
So security researchers, they discovered this flaw in some versions of their software.
Okay.
A vulnerability.
Vulnerability, okay.
Yeah, it's like leaving a side door, unlocked.
Yeah.
In that super secure vault we were talking about.
And Akira and Fog are the ones that found that unlocked door.
Exactly. They figured out how to exploit it.
Okay.
And here's where it gets really interesting. They're using this method called remote code execution.
Remote code execution.
RCE.
RCE. Okay.
So basically, it lets these attackers take control of your whole computer system remotely.
Really?
It's like they're sitting right in front of your screen, even if they're miles away.
Okay, now this is where I start to sweat a little.
Right.
So they get in, lock up your data, encrypt it, all that, and then they demand a ransom, like a king's ransom, to get it back.
Yeah, basically. And what makes Akira and Fog really effective is they don't just stop at the Veeam vulnerability.
Right.
They chain together multiple weaknesses to get into these systems.
Okay, so how are they getting in the first place?
So the cybersecurity experts over at Sophos, they've been tracking Akira and Fog. And they found that these guys are often exploiting compromised VPN credentials to initially break in.
VPNs, those things we all use to protect our internet connection, those VPNs.
Those very same ones, yeah.
Okay.
And in a lot of cases, these VPNs either had, weak passwords that were easy to crack.
Oh, okay.
Or they were running outdated software that had, known security holes.
So it's like forgetting to lock your front door and then leaving the key under the mat.
That's a pretty good analogy.
Is it too much? No? Okay.
No, it's a good one. It shows just how important those really basic cybersecurity practices are.
Right.
Both in terms of software and just like basic cyber hygiene.
Okay. But back to Veeam for a sec. This isn't their first rodeo with ransomware gangs, is it?
You're right. Unfortunately.
Wasn't there something last year too?
Yeah, they had to patch another pretty serious flaw that was being used by this group called FI7.
FIN7. What is it with these names?
I know, right? But FIN7, they're notorious in the cybersecurity world.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They've been linked to, like, some of the biggest, most sophisticated ransomware operations we've ever seen. Like the cyber mafia, if you will.
Okay, so like next level stuff.
Next level for sure.
Okay, so we've got these like cyber masterminds, right?
Right.
Exploiting weak VPNs, sneaking into systems that haven't been updated, and then bam, they hit the jackpot when they find that Veeam vulnerability.
Yeah.
But, okay, so walk me through this. How does this actually, like, play out in the real world?
Right.
Once they're inside a company's network, what are they actually doing?
Okay, so think of it like this, right? A company's network, it's like their office building.
Oh.
These attackers, they get their hands on a key card, those compromised VPN credentials, and now they have access to the building.
Okay, and I'm guessing they're not there to, like, raid the vending machine.
No, not this time.
Right.
Their target is the server room, right? Where all the valuable data backups are stored.
Oh, okay.
That's the digital equivalent of the vault.
So Veeam's like the security system protecting that vault.
Exactly.
Okay.
But remember that unlocked side door?
Yeah.
That's the vulnerability that Akira and Fog are using.
Right.
If a company hasn't patched their Veeam software, these guys can just walk right in, bypass all the main security.
Right into the vault.
Right into the vault.
And then once they're in, game over.
Pretty much.
Lock down the data, ask for the, however many millions in Bitcoin or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a pretty classic ransomware playbook at that point.
Right, right. So this is where the real cost of these attacks starts to hit home.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously losing your data is a nightmare, but
yeah,
the business disruption, the financial losses,
absolutely,
the damage to your company's reputation,
all of that.
It's scary stuff.
It really is. And, it's not like they're physically there with a gun to your head.
Right.
But the impact is the same. It's like they're holding the whole company hostage.
They are. They are. So this story, it should be a wake-up call.
Absolutely.
For everyone, right? Businesses, individuals, everyone.
Everyone, yeah.
Because it shows that,
yeah,
even the companies that are supposed to be the experts in data protection, they're struggling to keep up with these guys.
It's true. They are. And it's a worrying trend.
It is.
Because if the experts are being targeted like this,
right,
what hope does the rest of us have? That's what I want to know.
Right. Like, where does that leave everyone else?
It's a valid concern. But
yeah,
it's not a lost cause. I don't want people to think that.
Okay.
It just means that we need to be,
extra careful,
extra vigilant. We need to be proactive about our cybersecurity.
Right.
We need to understand how these attacks work and actually take steps to protect ourselves.
Okay, so besides making sure our software is up to date, our passwords are, Fort Knox worthy.
All of that, yeah.
What can we do?
Wow.
The article mentioned something called open source CIAM and XDR.
Right.
Like, what are those?
Okay, so in a nutshell,
yeah,
think of them as like a super vigilant security system that's constantly monitoring your network.
Okay.
Looking for anything suspicious.
Okay.
Think of CIAM and XDR as like
advanced security guards.
Yeah.
Okay. That never sleep.
So like instead of just having one lock on the vault door, CIAM and XDR, like you've got motion sensors, security cameras,
right,
maybe even a laser grid, all of that working together.
Yeah, all at the same time.
Just to catch anyone who tries to, get in that doesn't belong there.
Exactly. They're analyzing data from tons of different sources within a network.
Okay.
Looking for patterns, anomalies, anything that, could be a threat.
So if someone trips the alarm, so to speak.
Yeah. By, poking around where they shouldn't be, these systems flag it.
Exactly, yeah. Like unusual login attempts, data being accessed at weird hours, things like that.
So in this case, if somebody's messing with the backup system.
Yeah, they'll know.
They're gonna know.
CIAM and XDR, they'll pick that up.
And that gives you, hopefully, enough time to react.
It should, ideally,
right,
before any real damage is done.
Right.
Because it's about being proactive,
Yeah.
Instead of reactive.
Right.
Instead of finding out about a problem after it's already happened.
Right, right. So CIAM and XDR.
Powerful tools.
Yeah, sound like it.
In the fight against ransomware, absolutely.
Okay. But even with all of that, it seems like, cybersecurity, it's like this constantly moving target.
It really is, yeah. Like these cyber criminals.
Yeah.
They're always one step ahead,
It does feel that way, like a cat and mouse game almost.
It is. It is a cat and mouse game. But, the key takeaway here, I think, is just we all need to be aware.
Mm-hmm. Be aware.
We need to be vigilant. We need to be adaptable.
Right.
Right. We got to keep learning about the latest threats.
Right.
Understanding how these things happen.
Okay.
And be prepared to, adjust our defenses.
So basically, don't let your guard down.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if you could leave our listeners with one thought, what would it be?
I would say cybersecurity. It's not like a one and done kind of thing.
Okay.
It's not a one-time fix. It's a journey.
Right.
It's an ongoing thing.
Don't wait for something bad to happen before you take it seriously.
Exactly. Be proactive, stay informed, and really make cybersecurity a priority.
Okay.
Both in your personal life and your work life, it's important.
Great advice to end on. A big thanks to you. I really appreciate you taking the time to break all of this down for us.
It was my pleasure, really.
And to our listeners, if this deep dive has you curious about open source CIAM and XDR, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Those sound pretty powerful. They can be.
So maybe, do a little research, learn a little bit more. Because a little knowledge in the digital world
goes a long way.
It goes a long way. All right. Until next time, this has been The Deep Dive.